So what happens when the monsters from your childhood nightmares turn out to be real? We're going to dive into a story where that exact terrifying question becomes a brutal reality. A group of adventurers comes face to face with something that, by all accounts, just shouldn't exist. And that's the question, isn't it? How could myth walk under the sun? This is what's absolutely haunting our adventurers after this brutal, totally unexpected encounter. It's the one mystery that kicks off their whole journey into a much, much darker world. It forces them to ask, how does a legend become real? All right, so the story just drops us right into the chaos. The party is out in the wilderness, and bam, they're face to face with something that should be impossible. This grotesque monster just rises up from the reeds, looking like it was literally torn from the pages of some old forgotten book of fables. There was absolutely no time to think, just react. I mean, this creature was a blur of claws and snapping jaws, just pure raw power. But through skill, speed, and just some amazing teamwork, the party manages to bring it down. But here's the thing. As the dust settles, the victory feels weird, hollow. Because they didn't just defeat a monster, they killed something that wasn't supposed to be real. So as they're looking over the body, the party's elf, Talinor, has this absolutely chilling moment of realization. This isn't just some random beast of the forest, no. He recognizes it from bedtime stories used to scare elven kids. This was a Gnoll, a creature of pure myth. And that is a terrifying thought. Okay, so they head back to the nearby town of Apfeldern, and this trophy they have, the hide of a mythical beast, it just makes the mystery even deeper. They've proven the threat is real, sure, but now they have to figure out why it's real. And that's where the real search for answers begins. So, they split up, right? They're tackling this mystery from 3 different angles. First, they need hard proof, so the hide goes to a leather worker to get it cured. Second, they need practical info. What are people hearing? So a couple of them go visit the town blacksmith to check for rumors from travelers. And third, and this is the big one, they need to understand the lore, the mythology behind this thing. That sends their scholar, Thane, to the local temple, hoping to find some answers. But that conversation with Father Eric at the temple, it does not go well. It's deeply unsettling. Thane explains everything, the fight, the creature, and this weird artifact they found, a bloodstone. And instead of getting answers or reassurance, the priest just looks horrified. That reaction alone tells Thane everything he needs to know. This is a much, much bigger deal than any of them had imagined. So now the whole party is gathered back at the temple, and Father Eric, who looks like he's aged 10 years overnight, finally lays it all out for them. He reveals this incredibly grim truth. This isn't about one monster. It's about the very fabric of their reality starting to come apart. And he tells them the true scale of the problem is massive. The barriers, the veils between their world and other much more monstrous dimensions, they're getting thin. They're weakening. That Gnoll wasn't just a random monster. It was a symptom, a warning sign that reality itself is starting to fray at the edges. And get this has happened before. Father Eric tells them a story from about 30 years back. There was this dark cult using these powerful artifacts, bloodstones, fueled by sacrifice, to do the exact same thing, tear at the veils. A group of heroes called the Crystal Keepers put a stop to it, and, well, everyone kind of forgot it ever happened. But it looks like history is repeating itself. So in the middle of all this talk about thinning veils and forgotten cults, Father Eric just drops an absolute bombshell. He finally explains the true nature of that bloodstone they found, and it's so much more horrifying than they could have ever guessed. I mean, the party's been carrying this thing around, right? They knew it was important, but they had no idea what it really was. So what is a bloodstone? What could possibly give it the power to rip holes between worlds? And here it is, the dark heart of the whole mystery, a bloodstone. Well, it's not mined, it's not crafted, it's forged through the ultimate price. To create one, a life must be taken. Yeah, it's that simple and that horrible. The power of a bloodstone comes directly from a life being extinguished. The very act of creating one is an act of murder. It channels a person's life force, their soul, into an object with just terrifying magical power. So, now they know. armed with this just awful knowledge. The party knows they can't sit around. They have a new mission. They have to act, and they have to act now, which means heading right back out into the wilderness where this whole thing started. Their new objective is crystal clear. Follow that Gnoll's trail. They've got to find out where it came from, and the really scary question, find out if it was alone. So as dusk starts to fall, they head back out into the darkness. But this time, they know exactly what kind of evil they're facing. You can just imagine how tense it is out there. The plains are quiet, almost too quiet. You know that feeling of being watched? They've got that in spades. And then, deep into the night watch, a sound just cuts through the silence. A single twig snaps, just beyond the firelight. They are definitely not alone. And who steps out of the shadows and into the light? It's not a monster. It's a familiar face from town. It's William, the blacksmith's son, the one they just talked to earlier. And he looks absolutely terrified. And that's where we're gonna leave it. I mean, why in the world would the blacksmith's son follow them all the way out here, deep into dangerous territory? Is he a friend, a foe, or something else completely? His sudden appearance just throws another huge question into the mix, making us wonder what other dark secrets are hiding in this quiet little town of Apfeldern.